What is up, brewskis? This is Adam Obesius Rodriguez. As always, as less often, I'm joined by my girlfriend and friend of the show, Sherry.
Hey, you guys thought you saw the last of me.
You fools.
You fools, I'm back.
She's back.
I'm back and better than ever. But you can't see me today.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. You're probably wondering where Marco is. He is enjoying himself, I'm sure, extremely inebriated.
Sowing his oats.
Sowing his wild oats. Having a great time over in Tennessee for none other than Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo. So we all hope he's having a great time out there. But in the meantime, we have a show to record. So that being said, Sherry, what do we have to drink today?
What we have, sorry if you can't, well, you can't see, but we're just reaching over this table. We have Redlight's Blanche Sour Ale, part of their Golden Girls series.
Yeah, I call it a series.
Yeah.
They've done a couple of them already. Yeah.
Do I read the side of what it is?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. There's no real cold read on it, unfortunately, but there's some info. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a cute label with Blanche on it, who obviously is the best character from the Golden Girls. It's a mixed culture sour ale with Wusan Crepes, 6.5% ABV, and brewed and bottled at Redlight Brew Pub in Orlando.
Wow.
Right down the street.
I know that place.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Now that we've talked about what we're going to be drinking, what is on tap?
We just talked about it. Blanche.
No. Come on. We've already done this before.
I know. I'm just kidding. I've learned my lesson.
Thank you.
Yes. Well,
What are we talking about?
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I thought it was like a rhetorical question where you were gonna answer it, and.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
sorry.
I'll start us off.
Okay, yeah,
we will be talking about the controversy around the Beatles' quote final song.
You may say.
Okay, that's enough. Too much. We're gonna get a copyright stricken.
Yeah. No, well, no, because
Striked.
it's parody.
I guess. You don't mess with the Beatles though.
No.
So yeah, apparently they're making one quote final song, but with the help of AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like there's a fifth member of the Beatles,
And
his
it's
name.
a computer. All right, what's next? What else do we got?
We decided, because since you guys listen to us and are probably wondering, wow, Sherry and Adam, what is the reason behind your success as a couple who successfully so far is living together while in a relationship? Well, you've come to the right place. We're here to tell you our tips, tricks, and learnings as a couple who's lived together for a little bit. And if you've lived
For under a year.
and if you're considering moving in with your partner,
Don't.
stop. If you're considering moving in with your partner, you can listen to our little you can listen to our feedback. And not our feedback, but our tips on how you can make it as smooth as possible.
Oh yeah, just like peanut butter.
Yeah.
The best kind of peanut butter.
Yes.
And then other than that, we are also, surprise, going to be talking about reality TV.
Hell yeah.
This time about 90
That's
Day.
all I know what to talk
It's true.
about.
We will be talking about the latest season of 90 Day Fiancé.
No, it's actually 90 Day Fiancé before the
90 days, excuse me.
Yeah.
Someone called the prequel of 90 Day Fiancé.
Yep.
Also, excuse my cough. I have this lingering cough that's been lasting forever and ever. I will do my best to stifle it.
Adam recovered from the flu, but
Yeah,
he still has a cough.
It's still fluing, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's probably all we're going to cover, but we'll see. We'll see what we get into.
I think we got a few things coming down, so sit tight.
Yeah.
Sorry you can't see our faces.
Yes,
but
we do apologize.
I hope that I know Adam has a nice timbre to his voice, but I hope my voice is just as soothing,
It's pretty good.
if not even more so.
We're not doing ASMR. Stop it. Stop it. This is episode 394 of the One Beer In podcast.
Woo! He opened the bottle.
Corking it up.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
Let me know in the comments how many of you guys would want to see an ASMR themed episode with me. Drop a comment if that's more than half.
Okay.
That's more than half.
All right.
I'll take the less than half.
All right.
Drop a link in the comments. Drop a like, a subscribe if you want to see an episode where I do ASMR with Adam and Marco maybe. But I don't know if Marco will want to do it, so we'll just have to wait till he's out of town again.
Why do you think you wouldn't want to do it?
Because I brought it up to you guys before, and you both have been like, "There's no way I would ever want to do that." And
Well, as like a special, maybe. I don't know. Like,
we have the opportunity right now, since our listeners
no.
only have
I can't-
audio. They
I
don't
can't
have
do
any
it.
visuals to distract
I
them.
cannot-
They can just listen to us, and then they can maybe go to sleep.
I cannot-
Don't you want them to be relaxed?
no, they sleep enough when listening to this podcast. No, I can't. I'm not at my optimal performance this week.
I
with
think
my,
we could.
my coughing.
No, but that could be a little ASMR trigger. Like,
I don't think it is. No, I don't think that's. I
I'm
don't.
sick.
That doesn't sound like coughing. You know, my parents listen to the show sometimes.
So, you guys have talked about way worse than what I'm
Yeah.
doing right now.
Well,
Okay.
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to the Blanche.
Cheers to the Blanche.
Nom 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 nom. You guys can't see this, but Sherry is hacking right now.
It tastes like fucking weed.
It tastes like weed.
It tastes like weed.
I don't think it tastes like weed.
If you guys enjoy weed, Blanche is for you.
You really think it tastes like weed?
The first thing I thought of was someone left their bud in a cup of water, and now I'm drinking it.
I'm not
It was
getting
sitting
that.
out in the sun for like 5 days, and now I'm drinking the water soaked bud
No.
residue.
No, for me, it's just really tart. It's like a really tart grape. Excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not to the coughing, but wow to your thought that it's a tart grape.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I mean, I may be biased because you read that it has grapes in it, but it just tastes like a really tart grape.
Okay, I'm sorry. It smells like weed
okay.
rather than it tastes like weed.
Yeah, because there are legitimately some IPAs that taste like weed.
If you smell it right now and
All
tell
right,
me that
I'll give-
doesn't taste like indicus or whatever.
Indicus?
Indicus.
Is that like an alt metal band?
Yes, indicus. Alaskan indica or whatever.
I don't know. I'm not really getting that, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Drop
So-
a like in the comments if you want ASMR. That was my original point.
Sure, yeah. Let us know if that's content you want to hear.
And if you do, wait, they have to. This is what a preview what it would be like. They can't just say sure if they don't know what they're getting into. It would be something like this. I don't know if you can hear it. Wait.
we got a lot of background noise going on right now.
There's
too.
like.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to like tap on stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Beer, 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 beer.
You know, people can just look up ASMR and
Yeah, but like
hear it
it's
for
it's
themselves.
different because it's coming from us. Like when they be like, "Wow, I bet Sherry and Adam are really good at ASMR." We want to hear what they can do, and we could be a thing, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like a personal dream of yours.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
This is coming up in our next segment about compromise.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, sure. Actually, do you want to just go directly into, excuse me, the whole spiel of us living together in tips?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean,
That
we're
feels like
already,
a natural place to
yeah,
get into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for me,
Take a shot every time Adam coughs. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. He's sick. He doesn't feel good. I'm
not
sorry.
sick. I'm not sick anymore.
He doesn't feel
I
good.
just have that little lingering dry tickle in the back of my throat.
Yeah, it stays for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like it. But I will say This is the first time I've lived with a significant other.
Oh my god, I'm his first, you guys. Drop a like in the comments for that.
You're blowing everyone's speakers right now. Stop eating the microphone.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, so it, as I'm sure you will attest to, it took a little bit of time for me to get comfortable with the idea of of not having my own apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Adam is, in case you don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but Adam is a Sagittarius, and one of the qualities of a Sagittarius is just really
being half of a horse. Having a bow and arrow.
Is being a centaur. As you know, Adam's the centaur. But a quality of a Sagittarius is stubbornly being very protective of their personal time and space.
If I'm not going to protect it, who will?
I know, which is important. It's important to have you time and to have your personal space. But I felt leading up to us living together, which, by the way, in case you guys were ever interested in the timeline, we started living together November last year, aka November 2022. So leading up to that, I was ready to move in with Adam way before he was. And not to I don't know. I feel like this is something where the FBI wouldn't even be able to get it out of me that I shouldn't admit that. But it's true that I wanted to move into Adam before he was ready to.
Oh, you just freely gave up that information.
I
to
did.
The world. Yeah.
We could edit that out.
We're not gonna.
We're gonna.
No.
Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, not to cut you off. Please continue. But yeah, in my POV, yes.
Please continue. Yeah. Anyway, let me continue.
Adam was it took a while for you to warm up to the idea of sharing a space with a girl.
I will admit I am protective about my space and my time. And, it's I will say it's only because I haven't been in the past.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
Wait,
you mean you hadn't ever been protective of your space or time?
No.
Ever?
I mean, I'm sure I had been from time to time, but it was never a priority for me to be like, no, I need my own,
Like you didn't realize you needed it before.
I need my man cave, and there's nothing you're going to do about that,
I'm a man, and you can't take that away from me.
Sure. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to do anything with sex, but,
Or does it?
You don't have to eat the microphone. Stop it. But yeah, no, it doesn't have anything to do with gender, excuse me. But, yeah, no, I was very selfless with my time and my space. Yeah. And I've learned over time, I don't want to be selfless anymore with my time and space.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So yeah.
Get
off my back.
I'm saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Oh my god, are we fighting?
Oh my god, you guys. Drop a like in the comments if you want us to resolve it or not.
Yeah. We're going to leave it here, and we'll be back next week, and you'll have to find out what happened.
Yeah. It's part 2. But no, I mean, I get that. I think it's really important to have your time and space, which is actually one of the things that I think is important if you're considering moving in with someone or you've just started living with someone. One of the things that really will help it go smoothly is, even though you are together 24/7, it is still good to find that time to do your own thing, whether it's obviously the more clear or obvious choice is going out with friends on your own. But the less obvious thing is that you can still have me time in a shared space, but it could just be like I'm on TikTok or I'm reading a book, which I do sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm just sitting, either on the couch while Adam's in the office doing whatever, or maybe we're both sitting on the couch but we're not talking to each other. In my opinion, that's still a form of me time because I'm just zoned in on my own thing. I don't have to worry about talking to you. Not like I'm worried about talking to you, but I can just have the comfort of just existing.
Sure.
and
Do your own thing.
doing my own thing, but it's still nice to have you physically there because it's a comfort. But you know, I feel like me time can be different for anyone, but just make sure that you're actively pursuing that, because one person can't fill your cup. So
What?
one person can't fill your cup, like your cup of.
Oh, I see. I
yeah,
see.
yeah, like one.
Like your social cup.
Your social cup,
Got
or
it.
even like your your social cup, or what you get joy from. Not to go off on a tangent, but you know, obviously we like spending time together, but I don't rely on Adam to 100% fulfill my social needs or whatever. So it's important to make sure you're still your own person in that way.
Yeah, and to sort of dovetail off that, I think what goes hand in hand with that is setting boundaries as early as possible.
But being really nice about it.
Sure. Well, boundary setting should not inherently be a negative act.
Right.
You know?
No, I know.
If you both respect each other, you respect each other's need for that personal space and time.
Yeah.
You know, it should be an understood concept that, okay, I did something that person isn't comfortable with. Therefore, am I okay with that boundary?
Yeah.
If that's fine, then cool. If not, we got to talk about it. You know, and find some kind of happy medium. And
Right.
sometimes certain things are non-negotiable. And if you can't respect that, then you got to go.
Yeah, there's things you should ask each other. If you're like listening to this and you're like, oh my God, I love my partner. I really think we'd live well together. Ask them and yourself, do they respect you?
Yeah.
And if so, great.
Well,
good start.
It really does all come back to respect.
It's all about the response.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that Sloth from the Goonies?
No, it's supposed to.
I don't respect that impression, I'll tell you that much.
It's supposed to be it's a deep cut, but it's from an H3H3 video where they're making fun of Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of the Paul brothers,
Yeah.
and they were in.
Ethan Klein still does that really bad Italian accent.
Yeah,
so.
that's what it's from, because it's.
I recognize it now that you say it.
Because it's from one video where either Jake or Logan Paul went to Japan. And
the Suicide Forest thing?
yeah, but right before the suicide, like right before they cut to the forest, they're like walking around by like a temple.
Okay.
And one of the brothers says, in Japan, it's all about the respect. But Ethan edited it to be really funny. So I like, that's part of my vocabulary now is that phrase.
Yeah.
So you guys should
most of your
look it up.
vocabulary is like 5 to 10-year-old memes. So.
It really is. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
Are you jealous because my pussy pops to the feeling and yours don't?
Okay. Well, I feel like we're getting off track now.
Okay.
But yes, it does all go back to respect. Because if you respect your partner, you're able to have open communication. You're able to have honesty and truth. Mm-hmm. And you're able to respect that person for who they are and not wish them to be something that they're not.
But you still want them to
try to make
improve.
them into something that they're not.
But you still want them to improve a little bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
look, everyone has room for improvement.
Everyone has room for improvement.
But
yeah.
if that leads you to not respect your partner, you shouldn't be with
Right,
them.
exactly. Okay, yeah. Like Adam was saying, the number one thing is respect your partner.
Uh-huh.
Understand their values. If their values in line with your values, cool. And then, maybe try to think of some common ground rules that you both can agree upon before you move in together, just
Sure.
to see.
Well, set some expectations ahead of time.
Right.
You can't just jump into it and be like, well, it's not working out all of a sudden. I don't know why.
What was something important to you that you wanted to make sure we went over before we moved in together?
This very podcast. Ensuring that the staple of the One
He's
Beer
not
In
joking, you
podcast
guys.
would continue as it was uninterrupted.
Yeah, and I had no problem with that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god. Drop a like in the comments if you want us to fight about it.
But yes, no, that was something that was a something extremely important to me, and I let that be known forever. So it wasn't a surprise.
If you're dating me, you're dating my podcast.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the third partner.
Is it? So the podcast is a throuple
Yes.
without Marco, or
I mean, he's wrapped up in there. Yeah.
He's part of it.
He is part of it.
If you're listening to this, Marco, congratulations.
Yeah.
You're part of a throuple.
You're part of a throuple.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it.
You didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. And then, so obviously for Adam, one of the important things was talking about the podcast before we moved in.
Sure, yeah. And how about you?
For me, I would say that I really wanted to make sure we were on the same page regarding, noise. And I know that sounds really generic and weird for those who don't know me personally, but just wanting to make sure that Adam was comfortable with, I like to have things quiet at a certain time of day, at night, and it's hard for me to sleep if I hear stuff. And I know that's such a unique quirk, almost to a detriment. And I know a lot of other people would be like, that's really annoying and I don't want to live with you because you're so particular about it. But I wanted to make sure that was clear before we moved in together that, I do that. And Adam's been super respectful of that, because ever since we moved in together, if he's like playing Zelda or like Donkey Kong or I haven't
played Donkey Kong forever. What are you talking? I don't know if I played Donkey Kong in this house.
If he's playing, Pokemon Snap or whatever he plays. Sure. Pokemon Battle Stadium or whatever. Mm-hmm. He wears headphones, and I think it's so romantic. I think that's so sweet, which is part of our thing about compromise. If your partner really needs something, compromise and do it for them.
Well, if you're comfortable doing it, and if you're not, don't do it begrudgingly, because that's going to come out in other ways.
Yeah. What's the top 3 quick tips you would give to listeners about how to successfully live together as a couple who just moved in together?
Respect above all. Share responsibilities.
Yes.
And prepare before you do it.
And how?
How?
Yeah.
You got to sit down and talk about logistics as far as budgets, as far as what you both want from a place.
Budget is so important.
Okay, I know. I wasn't that big on the budgeting, but you brought it to light, and I respect that, and I really think that's why we balance out so well, because I'm more chill and you're more manic.
Oh my god, that's so sweet. I think that's why we balance out, because I'm so cool and you're absolutely crazy.
Because you do everything and I do nothing, and it's really cool.
I love the weaponized incompetence. Mm-hmm. That's my cheers of the week. Weaponized.
We're not there yet. But yeah, no, I think really sitting down and having expectations really drawn out and
it doesn't sound like fun, because it's not. But
it's not
important.
Fun. No, it's really
important.
not. It's really not.
It's so
not everything in a relationship is fun,
right? Or sexy.
Sure, but it's important, and you should take that time if you're serious about that person, serious about moving in with that person, and being happy and it working out. You should take that time. I know some people probably just run into it because they're just whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Or
that could work out. I don't know.
Right. I like kissing you. Let's live together.
Sure. Yeah. Or it makes financial sense.
Yeah, and it would be so much cheaper if we just lived together without really thinking it through.
Yeah, and hey, that could work. That could work.
I know
for some
rent's
people.
expensive, though. I'm not judging.
Oh, sure.
None of this is judgment. I'm just saying, maybe think it through first before you do it.
It will only be better for you in the long run and your partner if you take the time to sit down, talk about things like financing, talk about things like
Adam hated talking about financing.
I hated it, yeah. I still do.
Yeah.
Not only that, but what each of you are looking for in a house or an apartment.
And
what
pets.
areas you want. Pets.
When you're dating me, you're also getting Celine.
How you're going to
you ignored that.
Divvy up all of the responsibilities, like cleaning up and
taking care of Celine.
Sure, pet ownership and all that stuff. So yeah. Take the time to do that. It'll only help. And if you end up fighting and breaking up during that conversation, then it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, another thing you can ask is like, what happens if you do break up? What do you guys do?
Sure.
That's like a good question. I mean,
it's almost like a prenup.
It's like a prenup, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you say, okay, who's going where? So that way you're not caught up in the moment or whatever.
That's part of the expectations.
Yeah, yeah. But Adam and I are doing so good.
Yeah.
In case you guys are wondering,
well, I mean, we're in such a good place that we're giving other people advice.
Yeah, I know. Obviously,
that clearly makes us better than everyone else.
We're better than everyone else because we know more than everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the healthiest relationship
of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
We're nailing it.
Yeah, we're definitely not in couples counseling. Definitely not that.
No. Couples counseling's for the weak.
Who would do that?
Who would ever? It couldn't be me.
That sounds stupid.
That sounds so dumb. Couldn't be me. I'm just kidding. I love you, Doctor. I'm just kidding. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Shout out to my therapist. Thank you so much.
You know what? Maybe that's a bonus tip.
Yeah, bonus tip.
If you
go to therapy individually.
I mean that goes almost without saying.
Yeah, please sort your issues out.
Everyone needs therapy.
Yeah,
everyone.
Don't be too proud. Don't be too proud.
I don't care if your life is going great.
Yeah,
you still need therapy.
Talk about it. Talk about how great your life is.
You could still benefit from therapy.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, but I was gonna say an added bonus to that is not only work on yourself, but don't be afraid to go to couples counseling as well. Seriously, because it can help you get over some bumps in the road that maybe you don't know how to communicate.
Like maybe they linger and you're like, why do we keep arguing about it? If you go to couples therapy, then it can get solved. And then you can like hug even more than before.
Yes. It's like having somebody help cut a knot.
Yeah.
You know, you keep struggling to untie the knot. And somebody there
puts
who
peanut
has
butter.
a PhD can come in and go, snip, there you go.
And maybe it could be two people.
Could be two people.
With two PhDs.
Yeah.
Coming in there and undoing the knot.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's my advice. You have anything else?
I mean, I honestly think you covered all of it. Okay, here's one bonus one, too.
Okay.
Even though you live together, and I know this sounds really cliche, but make a date night.
Okay.
Make sure there's still some romance, you know? Like, I know you guys, like, when you live together with someone, it's easy to go, why do we need to, like, plan a whole date? Like, I see you all the time.
Sure, especially if you're working from home.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people nowadays, I mean, much more than before, are working from home, so it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Where you're, like, constantly around each other.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think it's important to have special days or nights or plans.
Yeah, or maybe, and then
or vacations.
Or vacations, yeah, like date nights. And then one last thing I'll say about it is if you're going on a date, maybe once in a while meet your partner at the restaurant or bar.
No, that's stupid. I don't like that.
No, because that way you can see the sensation of like them.
It's a waste of money.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
No.
All right. Anyway, that's Adam and Sherry's tips for how you can successfully live together as a first-time couple living together. And I hope you all took our words for gold. And because
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shut down your last tip there.
Yeah, did you guys hear that? That was really fucked up.
This is a perfect example of respecting your partner. I realized I went a little bit overboard on that last comment. I was just trying to be funny.
I wasn't offended by it. If that's what you're worried about.
Even so,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. We're so sweet.
I do think it's kind of dumb though. I wouldn't want to do that.
I know. I mean, it is a waste of gas, but
yeah. But if you need a little extra pizzazz, why not?
Well, sometimes it's nice to just like you wait at a bar and then they tap your shoulder and then they say, "Have you been waiting long?" And then you say, "No, I just got here." And then they'll go, "Oh, good. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't make you wait too long." And then you're like, "Wow, you look amazing. Is that the outfit you picked?"
Have you been reading like Literotica or?
I've been on fuck.
Okay.
It's a
How do you spell that?
It's fuck. AO3.
I don't know what that is.
It's a fanfic website. A03.
A03.
There's some Kylo Ren fanfics.
Heard it here first, folks.
AO3.
What's that stand for?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, that mystery will just have to stand.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys listened to us.
Yeah.
And I hope you learned something from
I
this.
hope you did.
Yeah.
I hope this was helpful. If you want more tips like
drop
this,
a like in the comments.
Drop a like in the comments. Drop a comment in the likes.
Yeah, drop a subscribe
Drop
in the
a
comments.
deuce in your pants.
Yeah, drop a deuce in your pants. Don't tell anyone about it.
No. They'll
Yeah.
find out.
They'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll all find out.
They'll
Okay, so moving on to the next topic of the show. Since we're talking about relationships, we might as well get right into.
Oh, we're not gonna sandwich it?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
We're all about seamless transitions here.
All right.
As we have been
Adam's
for
the
years.
expert. I'm just here for the ride.
Oh no, I mean we're in this together. Don't worry. But yeah, no. Let's go right into 90 Day Fiancé. I was working it out. In my
I know.
head.
I saw you thinking
90 Day
about
Fiancé
it. Yeah.
before the 90 days.
Before the 90 days. Okay. Just
So there's a new season out, right?
wait. Yeah, but we have to tell them what it is in case they don't know what it is.
Okay, so real quick,
I want to say it.
please go
Okay.
ahead. Clearly, I'm the cunt.
So 90 Day. Okay. Baseline. If you've never heard of 90 Day Fiancé,
I'm gonna grab another beer.
Okay, Adam's grabbing another beer. If you never
A side beer, not the Blanche.
Oh yeah, he's having a he wants to drink so much beer that he has to have a beer with his beer. So yeah, but anyway, 90 Day Fiancé. In case you haven't heard of it, wake up! It's about a reality show on TLC that follows Americans who get into online relationships with people from international countries, and then the original show, Just 90 Day Fiancé, is them marrying their international lovers, flying them over to the U.S., and then they're
I'm
on
an international lover.
yeah. Oh. The show is canceled, you guys. I'm sorry to say this,
Don't make me laugh.
but we had to cut off the show early. Anyway, so basically the premise of 90 Day Fiancé is you have 90 days to decide if you want to get married or not if you're a foreigner coming to America with a K-1 visa. So if you come to America and you're engaged to an American, you have 90 days to decide. 90 days is how much time you can stay in America before you decide to get married or not.
Right.
If you don't get married, you do have to go back home to your home country. But if you do get married, then obviously you can stay in America. So it's like following that. But what we're talking about is 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days.
There's an after the 90 days show too?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's just 90 Day Fiancé.
No. I'm saying like before the 90 days.
Yeah.
90 Day Fiancé. And then isn't there something else after that? Is there another like there's a follow-up show or something?
No, there's a spin-off called 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, which is what we watch, which is Americans choosing to live in the foreign
other countries. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's a whole universe.
It really is, because then there's the other spin-off,
the
Stacey,
Paradise. Oh, Darcy and Stacey.
Oh yeah, and then the Paradise
one.
What's it called?
Love in Paradise.
Love in Paradise. Yeah. There's so much that has come out of this 90 Day Fiancé thing.
Right, and some couples have gotten so popular that they get their own spin-offs too,
or individuals.
Right.
Darcy and Stacey.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So what we're talking about is before the 90 days, which is the period of time where an American falls in love with someone in another country, decides to fly to that country to finally
exploit them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exploit them, finally meet them in person, because the relationship has strictly been online up until this point when the show starts. So we get to follow them leaving America, visiting the country, meeting their partner for the first time, and then spending time in the other country. And then basically the show ends with either these couples getting engaged or breaking up, because usually if you leave the foreign country, you probably leave engaged so you can start that 90-day visa process. But yeah, so there's a new season of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Adam, take it away.
I was about to say, you're saying a lot of words.
I know I am.
Yeah. So this newest one, let me back up a little bit.
Adam loves the show.
I don't love the show. I don't, but I do watch it. And I will say a major issue I've had with the show in the past, specifically 90 Day Fiancé in particular, and before the 90 days, I should add that too, is that it is so clear that so many of these, specifically men in America,
are disgusting.
They really are.
Yeah.
They're going into specifically like impoverished third world countries, and they are usually older men. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the most handsome. I mean, who am I to judge? We'll leave that neither here nor there because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum here, but it just seems very clear to me that these are older men preying on younger women.
Yep.
Because they have money and they can provide a visa.
It's very manipulative.
Yes.
It's disgusting how much they know they're in a clear position of power above them.
And in the past, at least, the show has been, I think, done a very bad job of painting a lot of these women in these third world countries as money hungry, sex workers essentially that are opportunistic and they're the bad guys here,
not the American guy never the American guy.
Sure, not the 55-year-old going after the 20-year-old.
Yeah, not the 55-year-old who specifically went on a Filipino dating site.
Sure. So there's a lot of that leaves an absolutely disgusting flavor in your mouth.
It really does.
But I will say with this newest season, there seems to be a bit more awareness and at least a bit more consciousness of them trying to spread the grossness around a little bit.
A little bit. Giving everyone an opportunity to be gross.
Yeah. So, there's a bit more inclusion with...
And diversity.
With LGBTQ folks. I think... are there women going in for men in America? Like, American women going for... men
there
in
is
other
there
countries?
is one couple where the widow,
right? Yes, exactly. Yeah. So they're kind of flipping it on its head a little bit. You can tell like they're playing with the formula a little bit,
right? Which
I think is a good thing.
It's a little it's a little refreshing because, like Adam was saying, the typical formula is a man finds a woman in a third world country, loves her, gives her money, sends her gifts, and most of the drama throughout the season is uncovering he sent her money, and then suddenly it's the woman's fault that the man sent her money, and just really painting them to be like, I just want money and I don't have...
They just want the visa.
They just want a visa.
They're gonna break up with them as soon as they get here.
Right, they're not like actual people with hopes and dreams and struggles or whatever. They're just money grubbers. But what I enjoy about this season so far, it's only 2 episodes out, but I feel like we would have to double check it, but I think for the first time in 90 Day Fiancé history, there is a person who is deaf on the show. Yeah. And I don't know if that's the proper way to say, like, just someone hard of hearing, or is deaf appropriate to say?
I instinctively feel like a non-hearing person would be the correct
non-hearing person.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that feels appropriate. I don't know.
I'm not trying to be tongue in cheek. I'm sincerely trying to say the correct thing. But there is someone who is not able to hear on the show. His name is David, and he's like this middle-aged guy who lives in Nebraska, and all of his segments are very obviously quiet because he's just
hearing impaired.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do hearing impaired. He does American Sign Language in his segments, and it's really refreshing to see someone with a disability on the show rather than just some like ugly white guy with money to toss around. That is, doesn't have
a physical disability.
Yeah.
A lot of these men are sick.
Yeah, they're really sick. They're disgusting.
They're sick.
But I mean, so that's like been really refreshing, and they're also showing a lot more of how the international people are living, like his partners in the Philippines, and they show her hometown and her house and how she lives day to day. Yeah. And I find that I just find it refreshing to see both sides. But I know this whole topic is we're talking about how refreshing it is to see more inclusion in 90 Day Fiancé. There's LGBTQ people, there's trans people we've seen on the show recently. But I just have to say, ultimately the reason why I personally watch it is because it's so good and trashy.
Oh, it's very trashy.
It's so trashy. And I know that obviously like the inclusion thing is wonderful. It just adds a certain factor of like, it's inclusive, but it's just as trashy as it was before, which is something I'm just happy it's still super trashy.
In a way that inclusivity is really incidental to the formula.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I think it's actually most refreshing that like it's showing everyone can be gross.
Everyone can be gross. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
there's no one I'm like really rooting. There's never anyone I'm ever really rooting for on the show.
There's the one guy in this newest season that was
spoiler
alert, catfished.
Oh yeah.
That seems like a genuinely nice guy.
And he has a really hard time.
Yeah, he's been very put upon.
I forgot his name.
I forget too.
Wait, let me look it up. But yeah.
But he seems very put upon by, his family and it seems like this happens a lot, but like his only hope and his only like sort of place of joy, Tyree,
yeah,
was this relationship that he's had for years.
4 years.
Yeah.
He's been talking to this woman on Snapchat only for 4 years.
Sure.
And if you guys were listening to our How to Succeed as a couple moving in together, the number one thing is don't just communicate on Snapchat.
Yeah, it's a bad sign.
Communicate it through text, video chat.
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger, whatever. Sure. Not just Snapchat. Snapchat is like 10 years old. Choose something else.
Well, also, avoid long distance as much as possible, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, aside from Tyree, who I really hope comes out okay at the end of this show, I've never found myself rooting for any of these people. None of these people are ever really like 100% likable. Mm-hmm. They're all just people that I feel like they think they have the best intentions and they think that they're, pursuing the most pure thing in the world, which is love. Mm-hmm. But they're all incredibly flawed.
Sure.
And that's why it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah. And that makes it so you don't often feel bad for anyone.
Yeah, I never feel
the majority of it is like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Or it's you're such an idiot. Like, how could you not see that?
Yeah. Or how could you do that to her? Like,
yeah. Or it's you had that coming. Like, good. I'm glad you're getting your comeuppance.
Right. Yeah.
Or finally,
I've never cried over someone on this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never been like, oh my God, I'm so sad for them or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I did feel sad. There's a contestant. Contestant? Is that what you would say?
I don't think it's it's not like a game show.
I know.
So.
They're a subject on this new season who is like this young 30-something widow with 2 kids, and months after her husband died, she got into an online relationship with a guy that she found on TikTok who posts thirst traps. And I felt really bad for her at first because she was telling a story about how her husband died and how her kids are...
Yeah, her husband died like within a week of finding out he had cancer.
Yeah, it was very fast and unexpected. So I was like, wow, this is actually really sad. Like, it was unique to feel sad watching 90 Day Fiancé, but then those feelings quickly disappeared when she said, oh, and I met this awesome guy from Romania 4 months later on TikTok, and he just posts these really funny videos just asking people on live, like, should he take his shirt off? And he's a porn star. He's like actually a porn star, and she doesn't.
Now,
yeah.
Is it?
I haven't looked at him up.
No.
But
I was only gonna ask because like he's been pretty clear about his quote unquote acting jobs that he's just
taking. Skirting it around the name.
Sure, but my question is, and tell me if you know, is it like hardcore porn or is it just like
what does it matter?
Because it's different. It's a different thing. Like if he's around like topless girls.
Drop a like in the comments if you want Adam and I to fight.
Well, no. In all honesty,
is there a morality difference between hardcore and softcore porn?
I don't think
as
morality.
an actor?
Look, I don't think morality.
Is there a tier of
anything
like,
to do
well,
with
at
it.
least she does softcore porn. It's not that bad or whatever.
I think there's a world of difference between softcore porn and hardcore porn.
Are you talking about just like no penetration porn versus penetration
Correct.
porn?
Yeah. Like okay, if this lady is in like a sensual scene where she's topless and simulating sex, that's softcore porn. And there's no actual sex happening. It's just like,
you guys, I'm rolling my eyes right now.
well, I mean, tell me you don't get the difference though, right?
I understand the actual difference in categories
Like, I understand
between softcore and hardcore.
I get the-
But regardless, if my partner is doing softcore porn and comes to me and says, but I'm not penetrating anybody, I'm still going to say, what the fuck? I'm not comfortable with you doing
And that's
porn.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is there is a big difference between the two.
You heard it here from Adam Obesius
I'm
Rodriguez.
just saying. I mean, I comment if you disagree.
Drop a like in the comments. Is softcore porn that bad? Drop a like in the comments.
I think there's a world of difference between the two.
Yeah.
However, I would obviously see why she would be uncomfortable with that.
Yeah. And I'm not judging if there's a couple that, let's say a sex worker is in a relationship and the partner's fine with it. That's fine, like as long as they're comfortable with it. But
Yeah.
this is a situation where she's obviously not
Sure, he
comfortable
needs to be
with it.
honest about what his job
Yeah,
is. And
right.
Because he's been making it seem like he's making just movies.
Right. He says he's an actor.
Right.
And you would just assume that means, oh, he does like plays, he does theater, he does like,
Low budget films.
little budget films. He's like a character actor that appears on like Law and Order or whatever. That's what
Law and Order Romania. Yeah.
Law and Order Romania.
That was awful.
You do it.
I'm not gonna try.
Do it.
No, it's offensive. I would never do that.
No, Adam would never do it. Let's cut to Adam doing that Irish accent.
Ah,
Do it.
Mr. Lady! Law and Order!
Ha-cha-cha, Law and Order.
Chung Chung!
What was that?
That's the door closing, the sound effect.
Oh, I thought you were doing like
A Chinese thing?
Yes.
No, I'm not doing a Chinese thing.
Okay, good.
That's an Irish Law and Order sound effect.
Chung Chung.
Chung Chung!
Oh, okay, I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can edit that out.
No, it's fine.
all
We're
right.
gonna keep it.
All right. But yeah, so anyway, that's all to say that watch 90 Day Fiancé if you're bored, okay? If you want something
Well,
trashy.
it's now it's newly on Max.
It
right?
is on Max.
So yeah, it's been now widely distributed.
Delete your Discovery Plus accounts and go to Max. Yes.
Move on. We're all moving on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to add about 90 Day Fiancé
Uh,
or the 90 Day Cinematic Universe?
No.
Okay.
Although, I mean, I feel like the last thing I want to say is I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé since like 2020. I think that's the year I
Wow,
started.
it's like 10 years ago. Yeah.
I know. But I feel like I've kind of been chasing a high that I haven't been able to replicate when I started watching it in 2020. The first season I watched was an old season where this American woman named Darcy goes to Holland to meet her Dutch boyfriend and see if they can get married. And that was the best season of all time. And I've really been hoping that these new seasons that have since followed would top it. They haven't come close, and I really hope that this season does top that. That's my hope for it.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Only 2 episodes in. By the time that you're listening to this, probably 3.
Yeah, and I mean, I know if you haven't ever watched the show, all these names and situations probably are so confusing to you, but it's good. Watch it. I would watch it.
Yeah,
Just
it's
do it.
garbage. It's garbage TV.
It's garbage.
Exactly what we talked about on our first episode together.
Yeah.
Where it's just absolutely trash.
It's so
And,
trashy.
Chances are, if you're a millennial, you'll dig it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You all right?
Yeah. A little hiccup.
Oh.
Literally a little hiccup.
And a cough at the same time.
Yeah, we're not thinking about it
We're not
because
gonna-
the hiccups are going to continue if I think about it.
You want me to scare you? Softcore porn is porn.
Ah! Oh no, I hiccuped up again.
Drop a scary gif in the comments for Adam to stop hiccuping. Or drop a guess on how long it'll take for Adam to stop hiccuping in the comments.
Okay. I'm gonna power through.
You're gonna be. Do you want some water?
Nope.
You want to?
Nope.
I know you guys
This
can't
is the
see
one
him.
beer in podcast.
This isn't the.
I'm
one
only gonna
water-
drink beer.
Of course.
Yeah, and I'll be fine.
He looks like he's struggling, you guys. Like it looks really bad.
Okay.
You're all right.
So,
Holding your breath for a second, maybe.
introduce the last.
Okay, the next topic, or the last topic that we have coming down the old Brewski Ale House, Miller's Ale House.
No, we can't say that.
We can't say that. Why not?
It's trademarked.
Oh, it's trademark. Okay, sorry. I'm still struggling, you guys. Is the Beatles have announced that they are going to complete a last Beatles song through AI, or at least it's already completed, but it hasn't been distributed yet or released yet. I don't know the details, but basically, according to Rolling Stone, Paul McCartney used AI to make a final Beatles song, but not in a creepy way. So Rolling Stones doesn't think this is creepy. The way that it happened was there's so much like jokes in the first paragraph. Just get to the news.
I've seen that across every article on
I
this.
hate that. Just get to the fucking meat of it. I don't want to see your
They
jokes.
can't help themselves.
I know.
There's so many puns.
There's so many puns, but like I'm reading through these like no, McCartney did not feed a machine of a whole bunch of John Lennon material to get the computer to spit out some goofy cheap Hall of Mirrors imitation. Just say the news.
CNN said, quote, Sir Paul McCartney doesn't sound like he's willing to just let it be.
Oh my god.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
That was good. That was good. I appreciate that. But no, just get to the meat of it. So basically, the song was made with the help of Peter Jackson using the same AI demixing technology that was essential to the 3-part Beatles doc. And I guess they were able to replicate John Lennon's voice from his previous audio. Is that what it is? Like they? Yeah. I'm figuring this out with you guys, this story, because I just heard about this like 5 minutes ago. So.
Paul McCartney said, quote, when we came to make what will be the last Beatles record, it was a demo that John had that we worked on and we must finish it up. It will be released this year, and we were able to take John's voice and get it pure through this AI, McCartney said. So then we were able to mix the record as you would normally do. While McCartney's not on the internet much, he said he's aware of AI being used to do things like have Lennon sing one of his songs, which he said was, quote, kind of scary.
Scary.
And again, quote, it's something we're all sort of tackling at the moment and we're trying to deal with, McCartney said. So, I think, honestly, after hearing what this actually is, it is far less scary than I assumed it to be.
Yeah, that seems to be the clickbaity part of AI and headlines is AI is taking over everything and you should be really scared about it, which is sort of the draw with this story too, is that you have that fear.
Well, I mean, AI is taking over everything and we should be afraid of it, so.
Should we though?
Yeah, we should.
Oh, okay.
We definitely should. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that using this technology to kind of finish what has already been started by an artist is a little less creepy.
No, I think that's actually really there's something romantic about it.
Romantic? Not
romantic, but that's not the right word. It's touching. So you can sort of have that cathartic feeling of we finished it. Even though they're not around anymore, it's done.
Sure. And this is specifically from the sort of viewpoint of a band member, of someone that he obviously knew intimately, and I would want to say would know better than to do something that would be like, necromancy, essentially.
Right. He would. I feel like if he really thought that John Lennon would be totally against this type of thing, of finishing a song that they started together through. I mean, I'm sure it's even hard to wrap your mind around AI back in the 60s or 70s or whatever, but
there was sci-fi back then.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, if he really thought that he would just
the modern implications of AI technology,
yeah. Like if he thought he would be against it, he wouldn't have done it. But I think in this case, it's nice because Paul McCartney wanted to do it. It's not like a third party. Paul.
You're from Liverpool.
We're trying to finish the song.
John's dead.
John's dead?
We can't finish the song.
We can't finish the song.
We have to use artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence? What's that?
It's like the dropping acid.
Oh.
I don't know why I got Soviet all of the sudden.
Oh, are
but
you?
I did.
Is this the Cold War and you're a spy?
Da.
Oh my goodness. Get out. I'm sorry, I didn't know how to end that. Yeah, like there's definitely something to be said about Paul giving the sign off and pursuing it versus
and I would hope like his son gave the sign off. I would hope that Yoko gave the sign off.
Yeah.
I'd hope that everyone that was involved in his life and knew him to that extent gave the sign off on this before they went ahead with it. At very least, because I feel like they shouldn't do this.
I have the same opinion as you. The first thing I thought of when you said, I hope everyone gave Paul the sign off to do it, was when Kanye West did that, like, not 3D, but like that, oh my God, what's the word where you project a person?
Hologram?
A hologram, thank you. He did a hologram of Kim Kardashian's dad, and through AI had him like say words.
That wasn't AI. That was just
animation.
A hologram. Yeah.
I know, but it's similar. It's like pretending that they're there.
Sure.
In their likeness and image and voice.
Well, to his credit, to his defense, which I won't do very often nowadays.
Oh, here we go, Adam defending Kanye West again.
Everyone who saw that, essentially, I won't say everyone. Most everyone who saw that thought it was gross.
Yes.
Kim Kardashian loved it.
But he didn't get her approval first before taking her father's image.
Well, he's just very lucky because she actually appreciated it and seemed to really like it.
Well, it worked out in that case, but the appropriate thing
the concept's gross. The concept is disgusting. I don't like it at all,
You have to ask. I mean, maybe there is some comfort, sure, in hearing the dead again or seeing the dead again in that way.
Here's the thing for me, though, at least. Even asking permission from the people who knew these people best
feels gross.
And the people who may like own the estate of these people.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's still gross to me.
It is still gross. I agree.
Like Marco and I have kind of discussed this.
Am I not good enough for you to talk about this? We have to bring up Marco? I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. Marco, if you're listening, I'm doing a really good job.
Okay. I thought you were going to say like you love him or that.
No. Marco, if you're listening,
hey, Marco,
I'm freaking nailing it.
I'm doing pretty good. No. I was going to say, like, we talked about this before with, like, Biggie Smalls, right?
Yes.
The Notorious B.I.G. There was a VR experience where you got to see him perform in VR.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember you guys talking about this.
Signed off by his own mother. So who would know this person better than his own mother?
Maybe his mom just wanted to make some money.
Hey, and we talked that angle too, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves everything. She deserves everything. She raised him.
Yeah. Right.
If, Puffy doesn't deserve that, his mom deserves that. If anyone does.
Right.
And his kid. Right.
Right.
So she approved of it. It happened. We still thought it was kind of gross. All that to say, I'm still not a fan of this ever happening at all. Am I interested? Am I curious about what's going to come out of this whole Beatles quote final song? Sure I am.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
Who's gonna hit play at midnight when it drops?
Yeah,
this guy.
But no, I still think that it is still, even if it was just used tastefully, and you can't tell the difference. Still, I don't know. It still feels wrong to me. Like it feels false. It feels like it feels manufactured. It feels fake.
There's a distinct difference between a biopic where you're watching an actor acting as a person who maybe has passed already.
Yeah.
Like whenever you like the Ray Charles movie.
Sure.
Or any biopic that you can think, or the Abraham Lincoln movie with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. What's that called? Lincoln?
Lincoln.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well.
Also, the Ray Charles biopic is called Ray.
All right. Well, Ray.
Yeah.
There's a difference between watching that because you're going into it, even though you want to get immersed, you go into it knowing that this is a production, people are acting, and you're watching an interpretation of someone's life. This is different where it's really trying to fool you into thinking this person's voice is not only still here, but you can create new content with the voice, new content that that exists. It's not even the person creating that themselves anymore. It's just someone hitting a synthesizer and going Birmingham over and over again.
I would pay to listen to that.
Yeah.
But no, I think the thing is, the main difference in that example is that the biopic is, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, listeners, but very few and far between are trying to say that like whatever you're listening to is something new. It's always stuff that's already been recorded by the artists themselves.
Right. It's not new stuff.
No. And if they don't use the actual recording, they will do their own interpretation of the actual recording. You know?
it's all pre-written,
by that artist.
Yeah,
And that's
artist.
exactly my point. Is like, I would hate to think, say I die in 100 years. Definitely going to be like 100 years.
Yeah.
I would hate to if I were like a musician, I don't think I'd be comfortable with people making new music with my voice. Like it, even if it was done respectfully, even if it was done like to finish a demo I made, that's not for you to do. I'm not here anymore. You don't have that power anymore to do. You shouldn't have that power to do that anymore.
It's not.
It feels invasive. It feels wrong, and I don't like it.
Someone still has autonomy even when they're gone.
I would like to think so, but that's becoming, untrue as time goes on.
Right.
So really, you become whoever owns your estate.
I guess so.
So unless you write in your will that you don't want anyone to synthesize your voice and use it in AI. Then
what a time to be alive where you have to spell that out in your will.
We're truly in the future.
Don't
folks.
recreate me or my image, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, well, I think we've squeezed that rock.
I think we're
enough.
good.
Yeah. Well, I think we only have one more thing to do, and that is the cheers of the week.
Woo! Cheers of the week.
Sherry, you go first. What is your cheers of the week?
My cheers of the week is to Michelle Zauner's Crying in H Mart. Crying in H Mart is an autobiography by Japanese Breakfast's Michelle Zauner. And I just tore through that book the past few weeks.
Yeah, you read it in like a week.
In a week, yeah. It's a very touching, very difficult story to get through at points. Mm-hmm. I won't go into the details, but...
For all the half-girlies out there.
It's Yeah, it's really a book for the half. It is
the half Asian, half white girlies.
the half the Wasian girlies.
Yeah, the Wasians.
The book is for the Wasian girlies who are trying to find their identity while also trying to figure out how to connect with their immigrant mother. It really hit home in ways I hated, but I tore.
Speaking of therapy,
but it was nice. It was nice in a way to feel like even the celebrity understands some of the same things I have felt.
Sure.
But it was just a really touching story, not only about your identity, but most of all just the comfort that food can bring to other people. Home cooked meals.
Yeah.
Feeding someone, telling them, have this, but make sure you mix the rice with it so it's not too hot. That gesture of trying to coach them through the perfect bite is really, it's such a kind, pure act of love that I really, really appreciated reading the book. Anyway, if you haven't read it, read it. It's very good.
Okay.
And it made me more into her music, surprisingly, because I wasn't really much of a listener to Japanese breakfast before.
Really?
Yeah, I know, which is weird. But now I'm like, hey, she's really, really insightful and creative, so I'll listen to more of her stuff.
Japanese breakfast is good.
But that is my cheers.
Okay. My cheers of the week goes to actually another author.
Oh.
Cormac, McCarthy.
It's a book theme.
Yes. Ooh. We are so literate.
We're so smart, babe.
Yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately, Cormac McCarthy passed away this week. R.I.P. But he, I think it's not too much to say that he was definitely in the top 5 discussion of best American authors of our generation. You may not have read any of his books, but you've definitely watched some of his movies, some of the movies based on his books, such as The Road, No Country for Old Men, All the Pretty Horses. Yeah, there are more than a few. There's always been the rumor of them trying to make a Blood Meridian movie, which hasn't happened yet. But just such a uniquely American author. I think, unfortunately, one of those guys who wasn't like a blockbuster success for a lot of his life, but eventually gained the respect that he deserves this entire time. Yeah, I think you owe it to yourself to read some Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah.
Tough reads. He seemed like a very bummer dude, but very insightful, very deep, very dark places of humanity, and I think that's worth probing via Mr. McCarthy.
I read The Road. It was very
The Road. I gave it to my dad for Father's Day.
Why would you do that?
Because it's a great story about a father and son, but it's very sad.
Yeah,
it made him cry.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Well, as his son, from an immigrant father who is from the generation full of machismo, who would never cry in public, I feel like it's my personal job to make him cry whenever I can.
Sweet. That's really sweet.
So I personally feel, like
responsible.
No, like I have a success story under my belt for giving him Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Yeah, I highly inspired other creators such as Neil Druckmann with The Last of Us. You know, and most any story that you find of an apocalyptic story of a father and a son or a kid in general. Yeah. Walking Dead, yeah. I think all owe a debt to Cormac McCarthy. Also, No Country for Old Men is one of the greatest movies of all time.
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, we'll have to watch that.
Well, that's another one to the list that I have to watch.
Sure, it's one of the best movies of all time. So yeah, I think we all owe it to Mr. McCarthy. Anyway, I've gushed enough. one final thing on this show is we have to review the Redlight Blanche Sour Ale. Sherry, as the guest, what do you think?
This is much better than Mom Water. I will
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very low bar to pass.
The bar is
but
under the ground.
the
with
bar
that.
is dug beneath the ground.
The
Yeah.
bar is in hell.
Yeah.
With Grandpa Mike.
Grandpa Mike.
It's a joke that Ryan and I'll explain it to you after.
Oh,
the
so it's
show.
an inside joke that no one else would get. Cool.
If Ryan listens to this, he'll know what I'm
Great.
talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm glad we're talking. I'm glad our audience is one person.
This show's only for Ryan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so basically, I would say that this was really sour, obviously, because it's a sour ale.
Yeah, it's a sour ale. Yeah.
I'm not particularly used to sour ales, so I think it was more of a shock for me when I drank it. Like, oh, that's sour.
Mm-hmm.
The smell I'm not a fan of because it
Okay.
does smell like weed.
I disagree.
But overall,
Okay.
I will say it's not bad. I'll give it a 3.
A 3. Okay.
Yeah.
A 3.
A 3.
You know, I will agree it is sour, which isn't surprising.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it is a better sour that I've had. Sours really aren't my style.
He's wistfully playing and twirling the sour in his glass
Thank
as
you.
he's considering his words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sour's not your style.
I'm not a big sour fan, to be honest with you.
Me
But
neither.
this is, you know, pretty good for what it is. It hits you in the cheeks. It has that tartness. I would have liked a little more sweetness to it.
I would have too. Yeah.
I know
Less
it's-
stinky.
That's not what they're going for. It's a sour ale.
I know, but if it was less stinky and more sweet, I would have liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one a a 4.
Oh.
I'll give it a 4.
Significantly higher than my score. Okay.
Maybe by 1.
Yeah,
you know,
not like a 3.5,
By
a
1.
4.
Yeah. No, it's a
Okay.
4. It's a 4 for me. Not quite my tempo, but you know,
Not quite my tempo.
No, but I could see why someone who's into sours would really dig this.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not a fan of sours, I don't think this is going to be your launch pad into other sours.
Right.
But that being said, I don't think you'd hate it. And also, if you are a fan of sours, you may dig it way more than I do.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
true.
So, all that being said, do you think we got it?
I think we got it.
Well, Sherry thinks we got it. This has been Adam Obesis Rodriguez talking you through all the topics of the day.
Woo!
Featuring my guest, the one and only Sherry.
The lemon.
The Lemon. Thank y'all for joining us today. Oh, have a beautiful evening. We love you.
We love you. Cheers. I'll be back next week.
To be